So, if you're watching this video, then you're probably someone like me, and Amazon Game Studios has effectively killed a game that you were just starting to get into. But that's okay, because I want to make an argument to you, the person watching this video, why you should leave New World now and move to Guild Wars 2. I'm saying this from the perspective of someone who's also a New World refugee and someone who's been playing Guild Wars 2 reality since it launched. So let's get into it. First, I just want to address kind of like what the refugee experience is. We haven't had a legit good new MMO in what I feel like is my entire adult life, excluding New World. New World I felt was ambitious in a lot of ways. It wasn't latching on to some other IP. It was creating something brand new. The combat was something that you hadn't seen in the space before. And it felt weighty, it felt impactful, and it started off really rough. But this last Night Haven expansion was great. Me and my wife were playing it every single day the second that it came out, and it's been a great time. And for some reason, 2 weeks after the best expansion they've had so far came out, the aesthetics, everything was beautiful, they killed the game. Because the game is dead. And anyone who's trying to cling on to hope there, I think you're just like huffing copium at this point, because it's an MMO. The second you tell the population that there's going to be no more new content, the population's going to leave, and that effectively kills the MMO. So, where do we go? Where do you go when a game that kind of defied a lot of typical MMO norms dies? Well, my argument would be to another one that typically defies a lot of MMO norms, and that would be Guild Wars 2. The first thing that I'd tell you, a big reason you should come, is because New World had a lot of exploration. You moved around the world, you saw cool things, you found like just these weird little dungeons, and it was really about exploring the world. That's exactly what Guild Wars 2 is about. Guild Wars 2 actively rewards you for exploring, gives you experience for every single thing that you do when you're exploring. Just going to vistas, which are like these really cool ways of looking at the map, looking at the zone, where it gives you a brief cinematic experience of what that map is, and it gives you a good chunk of experience. Just going there, interacting with it, having this nice little cutscene will give you a sizable amount of experience. New World did that in a lot of ways as well, where it would have different little quests assigned to you from the different factions that would cause you to go explore a new part of the map and then come back. Just that inherent exploration of the world is in Guild Wars 2, and I would argue it's better in Guild Wars 2 than you would have gotten in New World for some years. The next point, horizontal progression. It's one of the reasons that I really like Guild Wars 2, is because the gear that I have now, which is all pretty much maxed out across a whole bunch of different characters, will always be good gear. I'm not going to have to wait when a new expansion drops and grind through dungeons I don't like or grind through raids I don't like just so that I can get the higher gear score. The expansion isn't in Guild Wars 2, the expansion's not selling you on, hey, here's a bigger number that you can chase after. It's saying, hey, this is a piece of content that is fun to complete, is fun to accomplish. You should do it. The focus isn't so much on the reward that you get at the end, which you do get rewards. They're cosmetic mostly. But more importantly, it's saying, hey, don't come in here because we're going to give you like really good loot, even though we are. Come in here because it's fun to play this game. And I think horizontal progression allows you to do that a lot better than a vertical progression game like World of Warcraft, which I have a lot of experience in too, Final Fantasy XIV, a little bit less so, but I have played it. And I think overall it just makes your experience as a whole better. Next thing I'd like to address is the combat in Guild Wars 2 will definitely scratch that action MMO itch for you. The thing that I enjoyed about the New World action combat system was that it felt weighty, and it had gotten a lot better over time. The combat system in Nighthaven was leaps and bounds past what it was when the game first released. Um, and I enjoyed that because it lets you play with a whole bunch of different builds. It was almost kind of like a chess match at times if it was just you versus one other person, and I thought that was fun. Guild Wars 2's action, it's still tab targeting, but you don't always have to have tab targeting. You can choose to have the action combat, but I think most people would agree that the tab targeting is just more efficient and it's better in a lot of ways. But they have dodge rolling mechanics. It's not just a million keys on your board. It's you have 10 abilities that you can use at any time except for specific profession mechanics. But it will scratch that same kind of action combat itch that you got from New World. And you're not if you come to Guild Wars 2, you're not going to be stuck in the press one button rotation that's offered in Classic WoW, or the insane combo that you have to learn in Final Fantasy XIV, or this incredibly long rotation that you have to learn in modern WoW. It's going to provide a level of combat that keeps you engaged and also allows you to kind of push the limits of your class. So it'll be fun. Combat, I highly recommend. Large scale PvP and faction wars. If you like territory control and all those small things in New World, kind of the PvP, the community driven PvP scene, you're going to love World versus World. Imagine 2 entire servers slamming into each other. Actually, 3 entire servers slamming into each other on a giant battlefield the size or larger than most maps in typical MMOs. That's what World versus World is. And it does it better than I think any other game that I've ever seen. It's you coordinating with the rest of your team. You can get an entire guild together. I encourage you to join a guild. And you go through there and you try to capture different nodes, and you just try to take over the map. Gives you rewards. And that actually, another point, the regular PvP system, just the arena PvP, also amazing. I think the arena PvP in Guild Wars 2 is superior to any other game that I've played. But any of these different modes, arena PvP, World versus World, or just PvE, you can level through all of them. You just complete the short little intro quest, which takes you less than 10 minutes, and then you are put into the world. From there, you can go PvP. You can go do world PvP. You can go start leveling through the PvE experience, through the story. And you can hit max level through all 3 ways. If you hate PvE, you never have to touch it. You can just do PvP. If you hate PvP and PvE, you can just do World versus World. If you don't want to do anything with other players fighting against them, you can just focus on the story and explore throughout the world and level just as fast as anybody else in your guild. So I highly recommend coming over there for that as well. That gets me to my next point, because PvP in this game is stable and it's always expanding. They have different things called fractals. Think of a fractal as just like a really small dungeon that you can queue into, and you can just do the fractal, and it'll get harder. So like lower level fractals, think of it kind of like Mythic Plus in World of Warcraft, where at the very beginning fractals are really easy and anyone can jump in and you're not really going to fuck anything up. The higher level fractals that you get to, the difficulty increases exponentially, and you can get a lot of rewards from it. You can make a lot of money from this. So yeah, definitely get into fractals, and they add new fractals in all the time. They are tipping their toes back into the raiding scene, so we'll see if they keep releasing raids, which I hope they do because I like the raids. And even the dungeons are more story driven. You'll kind of see what they are once you get in. I don't think they've released a new dungeon in years, probably like 8-9 years or something. But there is that as well. So PvE is constantly being expanded on. They're constantly releasing new content. Highly recommend you check it out. Next point, the game respects your wallet. Buy once, play forever. It has been going on for 12 years. I remember 12 years ago when it first came out. I remember when it first was just being hinted at. I was following the content constantly, and they're showing no signs now that they're going to not continue to provide upkeep to these servers and continue to release content. There was a small hint that Guild Wars 3 is coming out that only came out in a shareholders meeting, and we're not even sure that that was real. It could have just been some executive trying to save their ass. Even if it was, we know they're going to keep the servers up because they still have Guild Wars 1 servers up, which I also played a lot of. And that game is infinitely older. I don't want to say infinitely, but it's probably about 10 years older than Guild Wars 2 was, or Guild Wars 2 is now. And they still haven't dropped the servers. They still have constant holiday events there. It's still going strong. They have community there that ebbs and flows based on kind of the wisdom of the crowd or how many people are getting back into it. But yeah, the time you invest in the Guild Wars 2 will not be thrown away. And I'm fully convinced that ArenaNet's going to stick around and continue to support this game, even if Guild Wars 3 came out. But once again, there's no indications or warnings that that's going to come out anytime soon. Yeah. Free trial. Gives you the entire base game. Highly recommend checking it out. You're not going to get locked into a subscription. If you were probably more disappointed as an adult than you care to mention because New World shut down, and you're looking for another place to call home, highly recommend that you give Guild Wars 2 a try. My name's Big Billy Games. I stream on Twitch as well. So go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, that whole thing, do all the stuff, and I will catch you on the next one. Appreciate you guys sticking around. See ya.